Warning: the sound effects used in the duration of the episode may cause feelings of anxiety or stress. Please be cautious while driving, as some loud sounds may startle you.
It's late in the night, and you're riding through the Black Forest on your fastest horse. You know it wasn't the smartest decision, but your only son has fallen ill, and you're the only thing giving him the warmth and comfort he needs.
The deeper you ride into the forest, the more you get chills down your spine. The townspeople have always spoken of an ancient being that resides here, but you shoo away the thought of him existing. They're just stories, right?
As the woods get deeper and the fog becomes thicker, your son looks up at you and asks, "Father, do you see that?"
"It's just the fog, my son," you reply as you spur your horse to go faster.
Your son asks again wearily, "Father, do you hear what the Erlking said to me?" As you're about to respond, you notice the thick fog you're riding past seems to form a small, shadowy figure everywhere you look.
The Erlking whispers, "Child, come with me. I have your favorite games. Come see the beautiful flowers growing on the shoreside."
"Father, do you hear him? My friends are there. They're waiting."
"My son, don't listen. It's just the old willow tree that you are seeing. Don't give in to temptation."
Welcome to Campfire Stories, a world of all things legendary and mythical, putting you, the listener, at the center. Each week, your host, Brady Montag and Joshua Cummings, make it their mission to tell you a story you haven't heard before.
Episode 1: The Erlking. Who or what is the Erlking?
Translated to Elf King, King of the Fairies, or Alder King, the Erlking traces its roots back to ancient Germanic and Danish folklore, describing an elf-like creature of small stature who resides deep in the woods.
However, do not let this description fool you, because this elf mentioned is described as sinister, malignant, a supernatural villain who can kill children with a single touch. And unlike other beings who abduct children for being naughty, the Erlking steals children simply for wandering into his domain.
The Black Forest, located in Baden-Württemberg, Germany, is a thick forest region stretching 10 to 25 miles. Day or night, children were often told not to stray too far into the Black Forest, or not to divert from their path, for the creature that resides within would take them away, never to be seen again.
The Black Forest has always been thought to be a place filled with creatures both real and mythological, and the look of the thick trees mixed with the darker lighting within the forest add to the ominous feel within.
Numerous Brothers Grimm tales come from the forest itself. Stories of witches, goblins, nymphs, headless horsemen, forest kings, and werewolves.
As many know, the original stories from the brothers are naturally dark and, for lack of a better term, grim. These stories were told by parents to teach children lessons.
The Erlking, however, is by far the most devious, by targeting innocent children and capturing them.
Although much isn't known about this creature, the Erlking became widely popular in 1815 when Franz Schubert composed Erlkönig, based on the poem by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe.
In the song, a father is riding on horseback, trying to get his sick son home. As they ride through the forest, the Erlking tries his best to lure the child away, tempting him to leave his father's side.
The father, reassuring his son, says that it's simply the rustling leaves he hears and the mist he sees. But the Erlking becomes impatient, leaving the sweet nothings that he promised behind.
The creature grabs the boy forcibly, but fails to rip him away from his father's arms. And as they reach their home, the father notices that his son has passed away from the Erlking's touch.
Es ist der Vater mit seinem Kind, hat den Knaben vor
Thank you for listening to this episode of Campfire Stories. This episode was produced and edited by Joshua Cummings and written by your hosts, Brady Montag and Joshua Cummings. The warning, opening, and closing statements are voiced by me, Sam Montag. The sound effects and music used in this episode were produced by Artlist.io and BBC Sound Effects. The rendition of Erlkönig by Franz Schubert used in this episode is sung by John Brancy, and the piano is played by Peter Dugan. Information regarding the topic today has been provided by Britannica.com and AncientOrigins.net. If you have any questions about this week's topic or would like to suggest a legend or myth for us to cover, reach out to cjosh214@gmail.com. Tune in for next week as Brady and Josh cover the Cuero.